The 21st IAF World Racewalking Cup. This is held in Naumburg in Germany, a two-day meeting. We start with the men's long-distance race, the 50 kilometers. It's a lovely day here in Germany. The temperature 23 degrees Celsius. That's just a little bit warm for a race in which many of these competitors will be taking part in, around 4 hours in all. The Russians, very much one of the favoured teams, as too are the Chinese. Both these two nations have built up formidable records in the World Championships, Olympic Games, World Cup in recent seasons, so the Cup may well be between these two teams. This event began as the Locarno Cup some 40 years ago. At that time there was just men's races at 20 kilometres and at 50 kilometres, and then a few years later the women came in, first of all for the Eschborn Cup, and this year for the first time we're also having junior races. So this is the men's 50 kilometres race underway, and already the favoured Russian and Chinese teams to the fore. Also up there, number 5, Jinko of Belarus, the man who's got the world best for 100 kilometres on the roads. But already in this very early stage we've got the 3 Chinese breaking away, wearing numbers 15, 16 and 17. 15 is Xing Shukai, 16 Yu Kaohong, and 17 Zhao Chengliang. Very early stage indeed to break up this pack, just 3 minutes into the race. But the Chinese already having recorded some very fast times in their own national championships just a month before this race. The Russians also pretty race fit. They always have a winter championships down in the southern part of the country, in Adler and Sochi, and indeed many fast times coming from that. So the 3 Chinese being chased there by number 80, German Skurygin, one of the favourites for this title of Russia. Also number 79, Semyon Lovkin of Russia. Odriozola of Spain, another man well to the fore. But certainly the team battle likely to be determined between China and Russia. A lot of the Chinese competitors have in fact not got too good a record in that many of them have been disqualified from leading races, but certainly they're showing fine form at this early stage. Lovely sunny day here, perhaps not so lovely for men who will be in action for 3 3/4 to 4 hours. The Chinese champion at 50 kilometres this year is deciding to concentrate on the 20 kilometre race on the second day of this World Racewalking Cup. But there's a very talented group of athletes. Xing Shukai, for instance, he wears number 15. He's just 19 years of age, and he was second in the Chinese 50 kilometre championship in 3 hours, 40 minutes, 22 seconds. A really world-class time there. He's the man on the right. Also up there, number 17, Zhao Chengliang. And number 16 rather, Yu Kaohong. Yu Kaohong, who was third in the Chinese championships. So 9 minutes into the race, the 3 Chinese athletes working as a team. This competition not only an individual race, but a team competition, and it is 3 to score. Teams can enter up to 5 competitors in each race, and the top 3 score on points. But the Russians behind, Skurygin and Lovkin, beginning to narrow the gap on the leaders. Lovkin certainly racing at a faster pace than his personal best of 3 hours, 51 minutes, 36 seconds. He was third in the European Cup in 2003. And with him, one of the big favourites, German Skurygin, who took the world silver medal in Paris in the World Championships in 2003. The second fastest of all time at this distance, with 3 hours, 36 minutes, 42 seconds when he won the Russian title, the Russian winter title, already this year. Those are the 2 red-vested Russians, some 20, 25 meters down on the leading Chinese group. Really is very early stages though in this race, an awful lot of road to go. The competitors are going over a 2.5 kilometre road lap, because they have to do that some 20 times in all in this very long distance race. But already a warning for one of the Chinese athletes. Each of the walkers can have 2 warnings as to their style, but on a third transgression then they would be disqualified. This is number 80, Gyoman Skurygin. The Russian, now 40 years of age, but still absolutely up there in the fall of world race walking. He's the man who crossed the line first in the World Championships in 1999, only later to be disqualified. But he came back and last year took that world silver medal. Gap perhaps narrowing just a little bit. Some of the other leading competitors, including number 57, Aigars Fadijevs of Latvia, not far behind. Also number 66, Craig Barrett of New Zealand. And that's the very early stages. After 5 kilometres in the race, that's the team standings. If they had finished at that stage, it would be a team victory for China, but already Semyon Lovkin now has caught them. So it's 3 Chinese and Lovkin, and on this hot day, the competitors needing to take on water. Lovkin, you saw there, taking the sponge. Already quite a little bit of a gap back. There was number 60, Modris Lipins of Latvia, probably just around 10th place. 10 kilometres reached in a very fast 43 minutes 47 seconds. At this stage of the race, it's China and Russia, 3 athletes each in the first 6 positions. Then number 67, Rafał Augustin of Poland, 95, Andrei Yorin of Ukraine, 57, Aigars Fadijevs of Latvia. Chinese working together, passing the drinks between them. Amazing speed that these athletes maintain over the whole 50 kilometres. If they do indeed finish in 3 hours 40 seconds, which the rest of them may look to do, they're walking at 14 kilometres per hour throughout this grueling race. The distances, back among the top 13 competitors there. So the Russians also up there, Yudin and Andronov. So although the Chinese are right at the top there, all 5 Russians very much in contention. And already some athletes, even at this very early stage, are being lapped. Throughout the history of the World Race Walking Cup, China and Russia have done very well indeed, as have Mexico and Spain. In the very early days, British competitors did well, but now not even a British walker good enough to be picked to take part in this 50-kilometre race. Lovely day in which to watch. A strong German contingent, particularly in the junior races. So 20 kilometres reached in 1 hour 27:28. And still the leading group of Chinese walkers, prominent as they have been throughout this race, number 17 Zhao, 16 Yu and 15 Jing. But all 5 Russians up in the top 12 as well at this stage. Led by number 79 Semyon Lovkin, just at the back of this group of Chinese athletes. This is number 81, Alexei Voyevodin, a little bit back from the pace at the moment, but Voyevodin, certainly one of the favourites, European silver medalist in 2002, 4th in the World Championships last year in Paris, and he has a best for this distance of 3 hours, 38 minutes, 1 second, one of the great walkers there. Check on the times. We're halfway now into this race. The leaders reached the 25-kilometre point in 1 hour, 49 minutes, 50 seconds, and at that stage still the 3 Chinese very much dominant, with Russia second in the team standings. Throughout this race, right from the start, the 3 Chinese have set off on their own, going together. But it's very, very difficult to lead throughout in a long-distance race like this. There's another man, one of the big favourites. That's number 57, Aigars Fadijevs of Latvia. Has had a few disqualifications in major races, but nonetheless has got a really good record. He was the Olympic silver medalist in 2000, European silver medalist 2 years before that, and has a 4th place in the World Championships to his credit as well. And Fadijevs there really just passing now. Number 17, Zhao Chengliang, who's just having to yield a little bit. Number 16, Yu Kaohong. So it's Yu and Fadijevs then, over halfway into this race now, over 2 hours. China, Russia and Spain leading in the team standings. Fadijevs, who like many of these walkers has moved up in distance, he now concentrates on the 50 kilometres, having started as a 20 kilometre specialist. At 20k he was 6th in the Olympics back in 1996. Number 81 there is Voyevodin. He's picking his way up through the field, but it's Fadijevs now, number 57, 30 kilometres reached by Fadijevs in 2 hours, 12 minutes, 4 seconds, and he's opening up a bit of a gap. The next athlete, Yu Kaohong of China, just gone through in 2:12:15, that's 11 seconds down. Yu wearing number 16. And just behind him, Voyevodin. Well, he's picked up his way through the field. He's now up into 3rd place. Zhao now yielding a bit. He's quite some distance now. 48 seconds down on Fadijevs at 30 kilometres. And Jing also just behind him. So China is still prominent, but that leading group of 3 has now been broken up by this determined bid from Fadijevs. Still pretty warm here, having to take in drink from each of the watering stations on this course. Fadijevs tracked by Yu, who's now gone back into the lead. So Fadijevs has an 11-second lead at 30 kilometres, but now the determined Yu has gone past him. This could well be one of the testing stages of this race, but still, over 15 kilometres to go. Yu now has opened up ahead of Voyevodin, who's also going past Fadijevs. So that's the gap between 1st and 2nd, the Chinese athlete and the Russian. But Voyevodin is certainly gaining as they come up to the 35-kilometre point. Yu Kaohong, who was first competing in the World Cup back in 1997 when he was in 36th place, and he was 15th in the World Championships last year at 20k, but was disqualified at this longer distance of 50 kilometres, but already showing great form this season. What a difference in pace there between him and some of the lap walkers. Voyevodin certainly looks good. He held back just a little bit in the early stages to the 33-year-old Russian. And there's Fadijevs, seeming to pay a little bit of the penalty for his determined bid from 25 kilometres up to 30 kilometres. And roller skates is the only way that many people can keep pace with these determined walkers. This is the leader, Yu Kaohong of China. He led by 3 seconds over Voyevodin at 35 kilometres, which he reached in 2 hours, 34 minutes, 32 seconds. This is Voyevodin, still staying in touch. Fadijevs was 3rd at 35 kilometres, then 2 more Russians, Yudin and Skurigin. So Russia have now moved ahead of China in the team competition. Number 16 there is one of the lapped competitors. Sorry, not number 16, he was passing a lap competitor, but 16 of course is Yu Kaohong and Voyevodin. These two now pretty much together, coming up to nearly 3 hours into this race. What a contrast in speed between the top men and the lesser lights. So 40 kilometers was reached in 2 hours 57 minutes 4 seconds, just 10 kilometers to go. Yu and Voyevodin. Number 78 there, Yuri Andronov. Now, he's certainly picked up a lot of places, and we also see with him number 1 on the Australians, who's also one of the lap competitors, that's Frank Berthet. Locked together then. The man from China and the man from Russia. Yu, who had company from his teammates in the early stages of the race, but still looking very strong indeed. Third placed Andronov, out on his own. But now perhaps Yu beginning to perhaps a little bit pay the penalty for this very fast start that he made, because Alexei Voyevodin has stepped up the pace and is going away, and it's Alexei Voyevodin who's coming in to win the World Cup title. He was a previous winner on this course in Naumburg in Germany 7 years ago in the classic race at this distance, which they hold here every year, and it's delighted Alexei Voyevodin of Russia who's coming in to win the IAF World Racewalking Cup for 2004. Biding his time in the early stages of the race caught the early Chinese leaders and has now come well clear to win by probably over a minute. Alexei Voyevodin of Russia, in an excellent time of 3 hours, 42 minutes, 44 seconds, takes the gold medal. In second place, it's Yu Cao-hong of China. An early leader, held on very well to achieve his best ever result in international competition. And also Yuri Andronov of Russia comes through to take third place and the bronze medal, at some 3 minutes behind the leaders. And there is the confirmed result. Skurigin of Russia taking fourth place, and another Chinese athlete, Gerasu Alatan, in fifth. Well, a lot of camaraderie as all the athletes now finish this race, and there is the confirmed result. Just 5 men breaking the 3 hours 50 world-class level, with Alexei Voyevodin of Russia, season's best, to win. And overall, it was Russia who took the team title from China. Really excellent class, because this was hot weather today, and a lot of men broke 4 hours, but there were also a lot of non-finishers. As the IAF president, Lamine Diak, hands the gold medal to Alexei Voyevodin of Russia, this year's World Cup champion. Joined on the podium by Yu Cao-hong of China and Yuri Andronov of Russia. And with German Skurigin taking fourth place, Russia took the team gold medals on 8 points, and China, with finishes second, fifth and seventh, their scorers, were second with 14 points. Spain, with 6th, 8th and 9th place, took the third place with 20